Welcome back to Stitches and Tales with Rue. If you are new, I'm so happy that you are here and that you found my channel. If you don't mind, please smash on that subscribe button, hit on that like button, and let's get pulling around. Hey YouTube family, tonight we're going to do a Mardi Gras design on a sweatshirt. We're going to do an applique, so I do have this fabric already kind of cut so that we could do it on the different letters. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over and we're going to select our pattern. First we're going to select my pattern, then we're going to select Mardi Gras. Okay, and it's config, make sure everything's where we want it. I have the colors set up already, you can see there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to select Embroider, and then I'm going to select the trace button, and then we're going to make sure that the pattern fits on the shirt where we want it to. So let me go ahead and press the trace button. We'll have to hold those corners back when I'm sewing. And then we're going to press the start button here, and we're just going to trace the outline, and then we are going to take it off of the machine. And we're just going to let it finish stitching those letters. Okay, so it's finished stitching the letters. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray my material on the back of it with basting adhesive. Spray it away from my machine. And I'm going to set that down on top of the M. Make sure it's pressed out. Okay, so I've got my water soluble, and I'm going to kind of slide it underneath my needle. Put my foot back down. Okay, so now what we want to do is I want it to stitch around the material, and then after it stitches around the material, the goal here, it's going to stitch the M out. Then I'm going to pull it off and cut the gold off, and then go on to my next letter. So what we need to do is we need to go back over to here, and we need to select origin point here, and reset to starting stitch, and we want to say okay. And that's going to take it back to the beginning. So then we're going to come over here, and we're going to press ready. go ahead and stop it. Lift it up. I'm gonna go ahead and take the water soluble off since that didn't work. Trial and error. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it off the hoop. And then I'm going to trim this. I'm going to trim this gold down right here so that it doesn't stitch on with the A. Okay, so I just kind of have that trimmed so that I can put my next color on there. Go with purple next. So I'm gonna spray a little bit of my basting spray on. I'm gonna set it over my A. Okay, and then we're gonna put it back under. You got to be careful because it's got a lot of clips on here to hold it. Okay, so now we have it back on, and we're going to put the presser foot down again, and we're going to go ahead and press the start button. And now it's going to trace the A. Stitching the A. Okay, now I'm going to take the hoop off and I'm going to put the green material on. I'm going to trim this up and I'm going to put the green material on, and then I'm going to repeat it so I go through all my letters. And then once I get that done, I'm going to clean those up and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're going to sew the green. Go ahead and stop that there. And then what I'm going to do is I use my curved scissors here, and I carefully just cut the fabric, pulling it up, making sure I don't cut the shirt. I'm not worried about getting super close to the yellow thread right now because it's going to stitch that yellow thread again. I'm just trying to make room for each of the lettering so that it can stitch on there. A little bit more off right there. Okay, now I'm going to put the gold, I'm going to spray some adhesive on the gold and set it down. Okay, so I have the adhesive sprayed on. And I'm just going to set this down over the D. And we're going to press the start button. I'm going to go ahead and stop it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pull it off and trim up the gold, and then stitch the eye, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all my letters stitched on here. I've got most of them stitched out. I need to go ahead and cut the center of my A out, and I just kind of barely poke the scissors up there, making sure I don't tear too far into it, because I don't want to cut the sweatshirt. And I just cut as close to these yellow as I can. Kind of pull up on the material and kind of cut it as best I can. You'll have to maneuver the shirt and stuff around. These insides are a little challenging sometimes. You just got to take your time and be careful, because you don't want to snip the wrong thing. And get it just as close to it as you can. Now it's going to do some satin stitches around it when it's done, so it'll cover up some of the thread that you leave on here. So what I do is I lift this up, and I'm going to just cut as close to the yellow as I can. Turn it just a little bit, just snip that corner, and then snip along this edge. And I just kind of pull the fabric up away from the sweatshirt and just do small little cuts. Take your time. Okay, so I'm going to finish this up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the letters trimmed out as best as I could get them, and I have the hoop back on the machine. So I'm going to go ahead and start the press the start button, and it's going to stitch around the letters again in the yellow. So it's wanting me to rethread the machine. So I'm just going to snip some of these jump stitches while it's not moving here. So I'm going to thread the machine with some green thread, I believe, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I changed my mind. I'm going to go ahead and start with the purple thread instead of the green. So I have the purple thread in the machine. I'm going to go ahead and press the start button. Oh, gotta put my foot down. Press the start button. Okay, so now we need to change it out to the green, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have the green thread in there, so I'm gonna go ahead and press the start button. Okay, now I need to change it to the gold. Okay, I have the gold on, so I'm going to go ahead and press the start button. Okay, I have the green thread on the machine again, so we're going to go ahead and push the start button. I'm going to hold this fabric back so it doesn't get in the way. And it's just going to do a satin stitch all the way around. And as you can see, it's covering up those edges there. Should come over and do the A. out the thread and be right back. Stitch this pattern down here all the way through, so I'm just going to go ahead and let that stitch, and when it gets close to being done, we'll come back on. Okay, so it's finishing up the frame there. We're going to switch out the thread and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have the purple on. We're going to go ahead and press the start button. So we're going to go ahead and let it finish up the end, and it's going to go over and stitch up the D, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we have the last thread that we're going to use threaded on the sheen. We're going to finish up with the gold. So I'm going to go ahead and press the ready button. Satin stitch around the yard, and then it's going to come down here and write the wording down here, and then we'll be done. Now it's going to go down and stitch the wording here. And I'm just going to leave the gold in. So the sweatshirt I got from Walmart, fabric I also got from Walmart, and then the thread that I'm using is Rich Word thread, and it's been working just fine for me. Okay, we can see that it's finished stitching, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull it off of the hoop. I'm going to clean up some of these edges here, and then we're going to take a look at the final product. Okay, taking a look at the backing, I did clean it up a little bit. I need to clean it up a little bit more. I used cutaway stabilizer. I used 2 sheets of it for this project. It's actually the Palon 40 midweight stabilizer. And again, I used 2 sheets for the back. So let's flip this inside out. Okay. And there is the design. I like the colors. I need to work on cleaning up a little bit prior to do the satin stitching, but I think it turned out pretty dang good.
Thank you for watching. If you liked my video, please make sure you hit that like button, smash on that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. And until next time, let's keep pulling around.